Hello guys, this is William Paul Teska here, and I am here to show you my first Thomas Wooden Railway layout. Now you're probably asking yourself, William, haven't you already made a first layout? Well, I noticed my first layout was so out of proportion and stuff. It looked really awkward to me, so I decided to change it on fully. And this, I promise, will not happen again. I don't know, the layout just looked really bad, so I decided to change it. Anyways, let's get on with the layout. And here is my Thomas Wooden Railway layout for Season 1 of Soto Stories. I'm not sure how many episodes will be in one season yet, but I will figure it out. Yes. Now I am going to start over here at Tidmouth Sheds. I usually on my other layouts spread them out, but I decided to keep it very compact and tidy. Okay, so here is Tidmouth Sheds, just normal Tidmouth Sheds, and the track comes down here into Knapford, where we have Thomas and Sir Topham Hatt, and Sir Topham Hatt doesn't have his hat on. I do not know why. Anyways, so we have the 4 lines here, and then we have a signalman that's being really lazy. And then over to the other side, if we're just going to jump over here, we have Knapford Sheds where Oliver is, and Duck and Donald and Douglas would usually sleep there. And I'm just going to get this over with first. Here's the power station off of Knapford, and here's Percy pulling some freight cars. And this is the power station for the whole island, because if you might see in this episode, there are telephone poles lining the whole out of the island. It goes in as well, just to give it one power. Okay, so we're going to come back to Thomas at Knapford and follow his line, which comes onto this crossover bit, which is Edward Station right here. And this station is kind of like cut in half, because if we're just going to jump over, there's a Farquhar Quarry. It's this half of it. It's Farquhar. That's where Duck is, filling up on water on this line, and the other half would be Edward Station, and the same with this. And then we just have a crossing there. Now I'm just gonna come over the crossing this way, and here's a switch over. And here's my favorite part of the layout. I'm just gonna get on the front side of it, and here is Brendam Docks. I put tissue paper for water. I thought that was a good idea. And so this line crosses all the way down here to a switch, and this switch comes over to Salty. There's a bunch of crates, Brendam, Cranky. There's a signal box for the track down here. I don't know why it's all the way over there. I don't know. And that line goes through the tunnel here to this 4-way switch, and in front of it is James at Maythwaite. And if you come to this T-switch, this is the coal yards, because there's a bunch of things with coal. And if you just come around here, there's the yards, and I have my custom turntable that I made. Yay! And these 2 lines come over to the yard. And this is a gas station, because Soto has roads, and there needs to be a gas station. And if I'm just going to hop over here, there's the vicar, and he has apples, because it's the apple orchard. And then right beside, blocked off by a fence, is Farmer Cole with Terrence and his wife, and then his dogs are playing in a bush. And back over to this switch here, and Toby is here loading up on apples, and this goes over the hill to T199 and down back into Edward Station. And I just have these factories here because, I don't know, they're just factories. And this line comes around here and stops because the Soto Bay tugboat will bring in engines from the mainland if they needed any. Hint, hint. And yeah, there's just a switch there. And if you come up this bridge, there's the Soto Bay Bridge and a Brio Bridge. There's Gordon pulling the express and Miss Conley's house with a bicycle. And then it comes around here down to the transfer yard where Scarlowy is. And here's the Wellsworth Crossing, and there's Byron, and well, actually I'm just going to show you the Niagara Drill first. So here's Scarlowy, and this line comes over to the incline where Rusty is, shunting up freight cars, and there's one coming down, George, and just a bunch of stuff in there. And then we have Duncan pulling some passengers near a lake. Uh-oh, he looks like he needs some help. And the castle on the Scarloy Railway that is ruined. And then my custom sheds. And this is saran wrap, but it's meant to be a glass roof. And then their turntable, and it goes through a tunnel, which goes to another level crossing, which that is road, and the pack is crossing over to, I'll get to that later. And it goes over a bridge, and yeah. And there's Scarloy, and back to this line comes all the way down here, near the level crossing. And one to my least favorite part of the layout now, Knapford Junction. It wouldn't be one of my favorite until Henry's Tunnel came in. So let me explain. Henry's Tunnel was meant to be like somewhere else, but I noticed after I was doing some more changes, because I didn't have enough straights and I didn't have enough switches, and I had to do a bunch of modifying to my actual plan that it was going to be, I had to change it. So I had to plop down Henry's Tunnel right in the middle of Knapford Junction. Now it just looks really bad. Right. And then here's the windmill and stuff, and this line comes around to a switch, and then we have a three-way switch. Two of them come off into Henry's Tunnel. That line is forbidden, and you won't be able to see it because it says like stop and everything. Yeah. And then we have Knapford Oil, an ice cream factory with a lorry that is not Max or Monty without their trailer. It's just going to be a lorry. And this comes around here over this mini bridge, and there's the back of Knapford. Knapford Station. Knapford sheds. And then there's the coach yard right there. This other line comes back into Henry's Tunnel. And this line goes back into the back of Thomas. And the line that was over here beside the sheds was where Henry is pulling a ballast train. Where are we going? That's right, we are going to Arlesdale. And here's Frank. But I do not have any of the other engines, which I'm waiting to get. And so does Legend of the Lost Treasure coming out. I'm so happy. And yeah, that's where the pack was going. They come out of crossing into there. And Frank just has this loop. It's kind of boring. If I get more track, I'll add on to this and the real layout and other stuff. And then we have Diesel under the chute from Frank. And then we go back into where James is. Oh, and my last part of the layout, I almost forgot that. There's Doc at the other side of the four-way switch, and there's a switch off where James is. And here is Mavis with a freight car. And these aren't jacks. I said this in my collection review. If you haven't seen it, please do it. Please. I'm begging you. No. And then they're just, I put clear over their faces because they're just front loaders, because I wanted to have front loaders. There's a bunch of rocks. It's quarry. And then like the cargo bin, and then there's Mavis and a crane, and that's the siding. So yeah, I'm pretty much covered the whole thing. Yeah, it's not as big as other people make on YouTube, but it's what I have to work with. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you, and goodbye.